Well, hi, hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Borg solo series, right here on the Grouch Couch. Today's episode 4. Today, we're finally going to make it to Schleswig. Yes, with your guys' awesome encouragement, I'm back here to continue on this story. Also, I couldn't bring myself to not finish this story, as I said in the last episode, before I start something new, because I'm planning on doing a Shadow Dark series, a solo Shadow Dark here on the channel, so keep an eye out for that somewhere on the channel moving forward, because I think I'm pretty excited for that one. Can't talk today. But the main thing is I really wanted to finish Oryx Grimjaw's story, at least make some good progress through it before I moved on to something else. So, we're here today for episode 4 of Borg. Thank you all so much for all your support thus far. And as a reminder, if you do want to pick up anything Borg related or anything like that, you can use our drive-thru RPG link down in the description to help support the dang old show. And if you have any questions about how to set up Borg on Foundry or anything else like that, leave them down there in the comments as well. I was thinking about making a setup tutorial video, but we'll see. So, as we last left off, Oryx and Kutz just had a crazy battle with a mute priestess in front of the temple dedicated to Nethrobule. Turns out Kutz has some kind of affiliation with Nethrobule, some kind of something, and he actually prayed to the statue and got a plus D2 damage on his sling, which is wonderful. But now we return to the story as Oryx and Kutz are entering into Schleswig in the middle of the night. Actually going to move him on our map. Yes, we are now in Schleswig. This is good news. Why are we here? We still don't know, but we're here. This is what our god said to us. Oh, speaking of that, as we enter into Schleswig, not our god, our spirit, does he say anything to us in our mind as we finally make it to this destination that he's been guiding us through for 4 episodes? Does he say anything? I'm gonna call it very likely. Yes. Okay. So, in our mind we hear, the city breathes, but death still reigns. Beneath its stone and iron chains, find the gate with teeth aflame, where graves remember, not their name. Interesting. To me, I feel like that's an entrance to a graveyard, possibly? That's what I think it is. But, more importantly, oh, we have a graveyard map. As we enter into Schleswig, this is a place that Kutz knows and understands. And I think that he's directly going to take us to a tavern to rest for the night. Because as we get to this place, it's pitch black outside. Like, it is dark. There's no moon out at all, as we remember from our last road roll. Now I'm going to move over to the Heretic's Guide of Dying Lands once again. I love this little book. It's so sweet. I actually picked it up from Pit Trap Shop itself. In here, it has some roll charts for taverns, so we can see where Kutz takes us right away. Tavern. Rest is important, even if the nearest tavern is full of goblins, has piss for ale, and the beds are haunted beggars. Beggars can't be choosers. Needs to be a comma there. Whatever. We also have drinking rules on this, which is really cool, but what we're going to do is we're going to be rolling a d20 to figure out some details about this tavern as we enter it, that he takes us to, right on the edge of Schleswig. Oh, actually, let's back up just a sec. I'm going to keep that page open. I want to read real quickly. Schleswig is right here on the map. Okay, so what I found here is that Schleswig is ruined grandeur, a city once bright, now gaudy in its decay. Streets lined with imposing statuary and monuments, but under the surface lies deep poverty and creeping despair. King Fathmu the Ninth's secret citadel. Hidden within Schleswig's elite towers, the paranoid king amasses wealth and imprisons those who oppose him, makes this place a hub of tyranny, fear, and dark politics. It also has the Sanatorium of the Insane, a 3-story brick asylum on the outskirts where criminally mad patients roam free after slaying their keepers. It's an emblem of unchecked horror and institutional collapse. Schleswig is a city defined by illusion versus reality. Polished facades hide tyranny, madness, and ruin. Its hidden depths, sanatoriums, secret vaults, crippled citizens offer perfect ground for urban exploration, political intrigue, and horror. Which is pretty cool. I actually have a couple of PDFs just for urban exploration when it comes to Borg. So, if we continue on this series for a little bit longer, yes, I have Alone in the Crowd. That is a It is a Cursed Cities, Doom, Diveries, and Fatalistic Flaneurs, which has a lot of really good city moves. It's kind of the reason I wanted to come to this location in the first place when I started this campaign, because I was reading through this book and I thought it was really cool. So, if we do some more city exploration, we've got the book for it. Very cool. But for now, we know what this city looks like, we know what it contains, and we're going to roll up what this tavern is that Kutz immediately takes us to rest for the night and get out of the darkness. So the bartender is 7 conjoined twins. That's the bartender. This tavern, Kutz tells us, this one here, it's famous for fried chicken. Nice. And its feature is, this tavern was built from blood and flesh. As he points at the wall, and it's like monster flesh. I feel like it's all hardened. There's maybe dirt and bricks in between, like bones and blood, like literally made out of monsters. And lastly, as we enter, someone triggered a misery. So it's not even the next day yet. But as we enter into this tavern, someone triggers a misery. And this misery is 3-5. Then shall come rain, unending, and the day shall be made night by its coming. So someone is going to trigger an endless rain. And this is, I believe, the first misery of our campaign thus far, which means 6 more and the world will end. So, as we enter into this place, I need character identity, a gambler ally, an ally. So I think as we walk in, Kutz looks, he sees a friend of his. He goes, yeah, right over there is my good buddy, and I think he will be able to tell you more about what's trapped inside of you, and that's why I brought you directly here. And you see on the table, there's like a big old book, and they're like gambling all around, and his buddy's like, it's all I have left. I will bet you this book. And it's like this old ancient tome, and he's like, but be fair warned, if you win this book, do not read from this book, only sell it to the next buyer. And I think that narratively he's gonna lose the book in gambling, and he gets real mad about losing his book, but he tells him again not to read it. And just in the future, we know that this person's gonna read out of this book, and he's going to activate a misery before the next morning. So the sun is never going to rise tomorrow. It's just going to start raining, and the sun is never going to come up because his friend gambled away a book that activated a misery. But now we know that there's a friend here. And who is this friend? I can, if I remember right, I can roll for a random scum. So let's see here. He was a gambler, but also he has something to do with, it could be a philosopher. Soul damned drunkard. Maybe it's both of these. Exalted gambler. Soul damned drunkard. Make scum. Alright, here's his randomly generated background. Such a cool feature. Foundry just friggin' kicks ass. There are times where you could revel with the nobles. You were devious yet untroubled and cheerful, but then your remarkable luck had suddenly abandoned you and your world started to collapse. To pay off your debt, you signed an unholy pact with a bizarre being. Its ominous gaze is now persistent. Nihilistic and egocentric, rotting face, wears a mask, insecure shit stirrer. We'll talk about whoever just left the room. Unearthly patron, chained skeleton from the valley of the unfortunate undead. You shall take its place there. Dang. So, he's got a mask over his face. And he's insecure. What kind of mask is it? Probably just like one of those like white plastic masks. You could just see his eyes through it. You know what I mean? And his mouth is covered kind of a little bit. Nif. I like Nif. Nif is pretty good, but I want to spell it like that. So it's Nifael. Okay, he's got some stuff. Rattle the evil rat. Twice a day you can see through the eyes of this devoted, clever rodent possessed by your patron. The connection lasts up to an hour at a time and can be ended at will. Very cool. So we've got Nifael. Can we delete this? Yes, thank you. Okay, and we approach Nifael. Oryx and Kutz approach him, and Kutz right away is like, hey man, did you just lose another gambling? He's like, yes. Well, my luck continues to fail. You know, I used to have really good luck. Now it's all gone. But I continue to push. I continue to try. That book was the last real thing I had from my past. Now it curses me no more, for it is someone else's guilt, someone else's problem to deal with. Kutz is like, hey, sure, man. Hey, look, we came all the way here to you. I was staying out of my cabin, trying to stay safe, but we've came all the way to the city to find you. I met a friend, his Oryx. And he looks and he's like, hey man. And he waves his hand. He's like, yes. He's like, well, you know a lot about curses, gods, and spirits. And I was hoping maybe you could help him out. And he tells Niphael his whole story. And does any of this make any sense to Niphael? 50-50. Can he help us? Exceptional no. Fucking great. Okay. He's like, well, I've never heard of such things, but if your visions and words be true, sounds like you must go to the cemetery, the graveyard here in Chilswick. Something wants you there. I would go there and search out what it wants. Maybe then you'll find what to do next. He's like, all right, thank you for your help. It's very helpful. Of course. And Kutz is like, well, you got some of that silver, right? I think it's time for us to buy some food and kick back here. I also have a shop chart, so I want to see, so they sell the fried chicken, but I also want to see, there's like, it's 7 twins that are all bonded together, and in my head there's like an arm of one and like a head sticking out, and they're all kind of like, just like a bunch of heads all like stuck together, but I think there's additional arms, and I think one of them's like a bartender, and one of them might actually sell us some stuff. And so as we approach, I want to see what the vendor's disposition is towards us. So I'm going to roll here on shop charts here that I've got. Let's roll for it. It's a D8 4. Vendor is, so that's not even disposition, but prices regular. Sweet. There's also special events in here. That's very cool, but that's not what we're looking for. We've kind of got enough going on. But do they sell any weapons of use to us? There's a D6 of weapons here. We got a 4. They're selling a spiked shield that deals a D2 damage, and it also gives us -1 damage taken. We want that for sure. And their additional stock is 1. A jar of eyeballs. Eat 1 to increase your presence by 1 for a day, but you lose 1 HP. Okay, I guess we'll buy that too. We're going to buy the spiked shield for 25 silver and the jar of eyeballs for 25 silver. And we're going to pay, I think probably be like 3 silver each. We're going to pay 10 silver for each 3 of us to eat some fried chicken to rest for the night. I'm going to add this to our inventory here. All right, so as we sit and we talk, does Niphael want to come with us to the cemetery? He has signed a pact with a bizarre being. Does this bizarre being, as we talk back and forth and explain things in more detail to each other, do we find any kind of connections with his bizarre being and ours? Also, I gotta subtract gold here. That was 45. So the 5 first, 94 left. Okay, fake question. I'm gonna call it unlikely, but do we find that it has anything to do, did we see any resemblance? Yes. Okay, so as we're talking, there's a slight semblance, and I think Oryx is like, whoa, Niphael, if your unholy pact with your bizarre being has anything to do with the spirit that is haunting me, maybe we can conquer some things together. Yeah, I did just lose all my gold and everything I have in that gambling, so maybe I can come with you and maybe find some more gold in the graveyard. Sure, silver and gold doesn't mean a lot to me. I have enough of it, honestly. So yeah, let's go together. He has powers, huh? He's got a warhammer he can equip. He has Rattle the Evil Rat. He's got 4 powers. Okay. Well, while we're resting, one other thing I want to do is Kutz is going to brew up some kind of potion thing. And if we click on it, we can see he can make poison, vapor, vitals, owl soup, all other kinds of stuff. So he carries around a laboratory, and daily you have the materials to create 2 randomly determined decoctions and can brew a total of D4 doses. If unused, they lose vitality. So once a day, we can brew 2 things. We get 1 spider owl soup and 1 Hypnosis Enervating Snuff. Berserk. 2 attacks per round, but defend with DR 14. Last 1 fight must be snorted. Causes sneezing. Okay. And you can drag and drop them right into the whole thing. Okay. Spider Owl Soup allows you to see in darkness and climb on walls for 30 minutes. It's also very cool. And we got to remember that those will lose everything after a day. But we have food now. In our bellies, anyway. I've got a shield. We got extra D4 on the sling. We've got an extra ally. So we're going to rest for the night, and as we sleep, we are not awoken by the sun, for the sun never rises. On this day, a misery has been activated from the reading of the ancient secret book, and the world has started to rain, and it continues to rain forever. So we wake up, we notice this, we talk about it, and I think Kutz is like, the misery comes. I prayed to Necrobule to not end the world, for I feel I still have so much more to live for, but this day marks the first day of the end of the world. And we pack up all of our stuff, and we're going to leave the tavern and head to the graveyard, which I think Niphael knows the way. He mentioned it previously, so he definitely knows the way. So he's going to guide us all the way through Shurswick to the edge of the city where the graveyard is. And we actually have some roll charts to describe our graveyard, so we can get into that. I like this book a lot. I didn't think I was going to use it this much because it's physical and I'm doing everything digital, but it's all right. So what have we got? Graveyard. Yes. So we've got characteristics. Here lies the Gravedigger and a special event. So let's roll for it. It is a D20 roll chart. Graveyard. The dead don't need much. Some soil and a little bit of peace. The latter is hard to obtain in the dying lands, no matter where your body ends up. This graveyard is completely ruined, and at this graveyard lies a talking axe. That is like the one I didn't want, but we're gonna make it work. The Gravedigger, we see him. He is natural 20, aggressive. And the special event happening here, time speeds up 100 times while on the premises. That's crazy. So as we step into the graveyard, Niphael says, well, I mean, first of all, we see the giant gate, and on the gate, there's a bunch of like sharp, jagged metal on the top of the gate that is like illuminated by fire. And we see and we're like, oh, the flaming teeth. The gate is here. We've made it. And as we step inside, Niphael's like, the gravekeeper here is a monster of unknown. And he's pissed because the graveyard has been ruined. I mean, look at this place. And it's all just like smashed gravestones and rock and nastiness. He's like, we must avoid him at all costs. He cannot see us for what we are doing here. But there's some kind of a talking axe somewhere in this graveyard that we might run into. So we need to remember that. So, that was weird. So, come over here to the graveyard. This is a little graveyard map that came with one of the books. I think this is like a little thing here. I don't think I'm going to use this, but it's very neat. We're going to use this for our background for the graveyard. Okay, as we step in here, do we get any messages from our spirit? Likely. That is a 48, which is a yes. Okay, let's see what it says. What do you got for me? Okay. 6 stones stand like broken teeth in the shadows where the worms still breathe. Beneath the third, the soil is thin. Claw through rot to find what's kin. A name once yours lies split and splayed. Dig and drag your past from grave. Name like yours. Dig and drag your past from grave. So we're digging up a grave. Claw through rot to find what's kin. Digging up a grave to find something in a dead body. The grave must be... Here, I'll put this in chat so y'all can see it as well. The grave must be... A name once yours lies split and splayed. A name once yours. So is it our same name? Someone has also the name Oryx? Or maybe Grimjaw is our last name. Maybe it's like a relative of ours. Maybe that's why it chose us. 6 stones stand like broken teeth. So 6 gravestones beneath the third gravestone, and it has our last name. And I think he tells everyone, you know, like, this is what's going on. This is the message that I heard. And who has the better presence? Because we need to look and see if we can see this Gravekeeper 18. We'll call that a success. What does it look like? Let's go back to Phylactery. We're just going to click this one button. It'll do it for us. Description. It doesn't approach, but the monster, the Gravekeeper, we see it. It's an ash gray, wide-eyed, and ghost gaunt with blood-caked fur as well. And I want to re-roll that. It's not... I don't want to do that again. Give me something else. A face like rotting intestine. I'll take that. I wanted something new, you know? With a face that's rotting away. It's radiating a dizzying magnetism. More than anything it wants to. Collect eyes to see Necrobule. It's got 6 HP, 7 morale, no armor, and attack a D4. So he's not very strong, this Gravekeeper. I think honestly we could take him down. But we see him definitely awful looking. Ash gray, wide-eyed, ghostly gaunt of a rotting face. And I think we all look at each other, we see it, and we're like, okay, let's not bother it, because he seems weak. Kill him. Let's leave him alone. Let's sneak around. I would like to keep my eyes today. Okay, let's do it. We're gonna do a group stealth check. I think everyone just needs to beat a 10 here. 18 for Oryx. Nifile has a -2. Seriously? 16 for Nifile, very good. 18 for Kutz. So we're all good and stealthy. And we sneak around to the back where I think we see the 6 gravestones. And I want to test scene alteration to see if anything happens when we reach the gravestones. This is a mythic thing. This is a random event test here. We got a 3. The scene was altered. Okay, what happens? You gonna roll it for me? Introduce a new NPC. Recruited person, fighter ally. Does this new NPC have something to do with Oryx's backstory? Yes. So I think as we reach the 6 gravestones, so to recap here, the scene alteration did happen. The event focus of the scene alteration was to introduce a new NPC. The character background is a recruited person, I'm assuming recruited from our spirit, because why else would they be here? Their identity is that they're a fighter, but they're an ally of ours. And we asked if they had anything to do with Oryx's backstory. And it was yes. So I think as we approach, we see someone standing there. I'm absolutely going to generate another scum now. A fugitive knight sounds cool. That's what we're going to run. We're going to roll up one of them. A fugitive knight. His name is Quillnock. As we approach, we see him. Bravery, nobility, and justice. And honor mean nothing to him. Through cowardice and treachery, he slew a valiant knight to usurp his title, crest and name. Cloistered within dead man's enchanted plate, you need not fear being haunted like a dog again, as it shelters you from harm and hides your damned self from those seeking vengeance for those past crimes, unimaginable. He's a hunted knight. We see him, Quillnock. As we see Quillnock, do we recognize him? Does something like get shocked in our memory? 50-50? No, okay. So we approach slowly, and Oryx is like, friend or foe? And I think he slams his chest with his iron gauntlet into his iron armor, and he's like, ally. He's like, ally? Who are you? I, Quillnock, fighter of all, slayer of my enemies. I was brought in here from thine spirit in mine mind. For today, I will face redemption. It's like, okay, so the spirit talks to you too? Indeed, my good sir. I'm here to help. On this day, you will dig up this grave, and whatever be to emerge, I will fight alongside thee, and die for honor. It's like, okay. So, in my narrative, I think Quillnock was sent by the spirit to help us kill whatever comes out of this grave, so we can claim whatever we want to claim. I think that's very cool. And I think Quillnock pulls out a shovel. He's probably sent with a shovel. We don't have shovels. We didn't come with one. We didn't think to come with one. But I think he was probably sent with one. And he's gonna stick the shovel in the dirt to dig up the first bit of dirt. And the other 3 of us are gonna stand around this grave. And I think as Oryx looks up at the gravestone, does it have our name on it? Or is it just our last name? Okay, very likely, does it have our name written on the gravestone? Yes. So we look up and we see the gravestone says Oryx Grimjaw. And he goes, what? And that's where we're gonna end episode 4. Right there. Right before probably a big old battle. Probably, I think. So, hey, if you like the series so far, make sure to leave a like. Let me know to keep doing more episodes. That's right. Keep an eye out for Shadow Dark that might be dropping soon. If you do want to pick up anything for Borg things yourself, please make sure to use our drive-thru RPG link down in the description. And subscribe here for more solo RPG, TTRPG things. We do all different kinds of stuff here. My friends, thank you for joining me. I have been Turk. Take a seat on the couch and roll initiative. At least for a little while. Roll on that, weirdos. See you next time.